There was a time when Johnny Depp could do no wrong. He was the golden boy of Hollywood, the beloved outsider who somehow became one of the most bankable stars in the world. With unforgettable roles in films like Edward Scissorhands' Pirates of the Caribbean and Finding Neverland, he created characters that felt timeless. But behind the carefully crafted performances and dazzling career, there was a man struggling to keep himself afloat. The road that took Johnny Depp from the heights of fame to the depths of despair was long, painful, and brutally public. Yet somehow, against every odd, he rose from the ashes, not just surviving, but reclaiming his place as a legend. The cracks first started to show as the pressures of fame and personal turmoil took their toll. Depp's relationships, once the stuff of tabloid fairy tales, began to unravel. His split from longtime partner Vanessa Paradis was painful and deeply affected him, but what followed would nearly destroy his entire life. His highly publicized relationship with actress Amber Heard quickly spiraled into a nightmare. Accusations flew, lawsuits were filed, and suddenly Johnny Depp was no longer Hollywood's darling. He was a villain in the eyes of many. The impact was catastrophic. Depp found himself dropped from major franchises, blacklisted by studios that once fought over him, and dragged through the mud by countless headlines. The man who once commanded millions per film was now portrayed as unstable, dangerous, and washed up. For years, it seemed there was no way back. The public turned its back on him, Hollywood doors slammed shut, and friends he thought were loyal disappeared. It was a fall from grace so dramatic it felt almost surreal. The pain was written all over his face. In every rare photo that surfaced, Johnny Depp looked thinner, older, tired beyond his years. Many wondered if he would ever recover, or if he even wanted to. But what most people didn't know was that beneath the shattered public image, Johnny Depp never truly gave up. While he battled legal fights and suffered one humiliation after another, he was quietly rebuilding himself. Music became a lifeline. Performing with his band, the Hollywood Vampires, gave him a chance to reconnect with a part of himself that fame had stolen. Away from the spotlight, surrounded by true friends, he found pieces of himself he thought he had lost forever. It was not the glamorous movie star life the world expected from him, but it was real, and it was saving him. The turning point came during the highly publicized defamation trial against Amber Heard. For the first time in years, Depp was able to tell his side of the story. It was messy, raw, and painful. Every intimate detail of his life was laid bare for the world to judge. But through it all, he remained calm, vulnerable, and heartbreakingly honest. Millions watched every day, and slowly, the narrative began to shift. People started to see a different Johnny Depp, not the caricature the media had portrayed, but a deeply wounded man who had been broken and betrayed. When the verdict finally came in his favor, the world seemed to exhale in relief with him. It wasn't just a legal win, it was a personal vindication. For Johnny Depp, it meant something far more valuable than money or fame. It meant that he had survived the worst moment of his life with his soul intact. It was the beginning of a new chapter, a chance to take back control of his story. Opportunities slowly returned. He was welcomed at the Cannes Film Festival, where he received a standing ovation that lasted for 7 emotional minutes. Watching him fight back tears, on stage it was clear to everyone that this wasn't just another Hollywood redemption arc. This was real. This was a man who had been broken in ways few could imagine. And yet he stood there, proud, grateful, and stronger than ever. Today, Johnny Depp isn't chasing the spotlight the way he once did. He chooses his projects carefully, preferring to work with people he trusts and respects. He spends more time painting, playing music, and living a life filled with authenticity rather than image. He's not trying to win back Hollywood. He's not trying to prove anything to anyone anymore. He already won, because he found himself again. His journey from rock bottom to legend isn't just about fame or movies. It's about survival, resilience, and the power of staying true to yourself when the whole world wants to tear you apart. Johnny Depp's most powerful victory isn't just that he's still standing, it's that he's standing on his own terms. He didn't let the darkness define him. He fought, He fell, he rose, and in doing so, he became something even greater than a movie star. He became a symbol of hope for anyone who has ever been knocked down and dared to get back up again. Johnny Depp's story reminds us all that sometimes, the greatest legends are not those who never fall, but those who rise after falling harder than anyone ever should have.